Hey, what's up guys? This is Tariq from smartbiketrainers.com, and this is where I talk about smart bike trainers and everything indoor training related, so consider subscribing. So I have been following the ROCKR community, and I've seen it grow from one person sharing his work on Zwift to now a big community with over 2,000 subscribers. And it's been fascinating to see some of the work some of these athletes did trying to build their own rockers. And now we're seeing some of them go into production. And these two I have here today, they are made by a company here in the United States. And the ROCKR plate is retail for $450 plus $80 shipping. The ROCKR pod is $300 and $40 shipping. And you can buy them today from SBR Tri Shop. And just a little disclaimer, these were sent to me by SBR Tri Shop and for this review, but you will hear my honest opinion. And I have been riding them for the past month or so, and today I'll tell you if you should go and buy yourself one. So let's first talk about the ROCKR and why they were made. So the Zwift community, they wanted to bring the authentic outdoor ride feel indoor, and one of the things that they were missing is when you ride a stationary trainer, they're usually rigid, they do not move with you, and they wanted to bring that rocking motion and bring it inside. And they built these rockers, and the way these are designed, they're basically two plates and with an air bladder inside, and you inflate the air bladder with air, and it allows it to rock side to side when you place your trainer on it. So the only difference, the ROCKR plate is basically a full platform where you place your whole bike on and the trainer. And the ROCKR pod, you just place your bike trainer on it. And the advantage of having a ROCKR plate, if you plan on getting a Wahoo KICKR climb, this is perfect for it. It allows it to be on the same level as the trainer, and also makes getting on and off the bike a little bit easier because these ROCKR plates, they raise your trainer for about 4 inches, and it can get your bike saddle a little bit higher, so you might need a step tool or something just to get on the bike. And also make sure you get a front wheel riser just to get that front wheel up to the appropriate level. So these rockers are meant to bring the authentic road feel indoor, and some also claim that they increase comfort and also release some of that back pain or knee pain that you feel. I would say if you feel any back pain or knee pain, you might want to look into getting a professional bike fitter. Take a look at how your position on the bike, and maybe a little bit of changes or making sure your bike fits you right, and some tweaking here and there will relieve any of those issues. You shouldn't really feel any pain for riding indoor. That money can be well spent before looking into other options or completely giving up on your indoor riding. So these plates are made from Baltic birchwood boards and coated with industrial grade texture paint that was developed for concert loudspeakers. Both rockers are compatible with the Wahoo KICKR. They're compatible with the Tacx Neo, Tacx Flux, and Cyclops hammer. And the tools, they usually come with instructions on how to place your rocker, and you'll see different letters on each board to identify where each trainer should go and how to fasten each trainer. If you have a different type of trainer, reach out to SBR Tri Shop, and they might be able to do something for you to make it fit the rocker. So I mainly tried the KICKR. I did try the Tacx Neo. The Tacx Neo already has a flex to it, so I wasn't too crazy about that extra rocking. It didn't feel comfortable for me, and it just felt a little bit unstable. So I did one ride. I personally wasn't a fan of having the Tacx Neo on the rocker, but with the Wahoo KICKR, since the Wahoo KICKR does not flex with you, it felt a lot more reasonable. So the air bladders are meant to level the rocker, and the first time you place your bike trainer on the rocker, you want to make sure that it is leveled correctly. With the Wahoo KICKR, the side where the flywheel is usually heavier, so you might find yourself putting more air on one side than the other. And they do not recommend putting more than 8 psi. The more air you put on those bladders, the less rocking you'll feel. I ended up adding more air just to get it a little bit more stable. and I found it to be my sweet spot by getting up to that 8 psi level. So as far as realistic feel, and this is what they're trying to do with these rockers, I don't know if we can do anything, to be honest with you, to bring that authentic feel indoor, but we're trying to come close to that. And I think these rockers, with the amount of rocking they do, and I'll show you in a bit in a video, I think they came very close to that. As far as trainers, the closest I came to finding a trainer that can simulate the outdoor riding is the Vitality. That's a Korean company that I met last year at Interbike, and they make some amazing trainers, and also, but they cost a lot of money. They're over $10,000, and they're still not available in the US market. So that's kind of out of the window. But the next closest thing to that is the emotion rollers, and I have one of these, and I also did a full review on the emotion roller, which I'll put here up in that link if you want to take a look at it. But the emotion roller, they're basically rollers that allows the bike to first rock side to side, because they're rollers and your bike is not affixed to anything, and also it has a free motion base, so your bike is moving forward and backward with you. So in this video, you'll see I put myself against the kicker. The kicker is on the ROCKR, and I rode the emotion roller, and I rode the same exact section or the same exact climb on Zwift, and just to show you how much rocking you will see with the rockers. So here you will see how the rocker rocks side to side almost as much as I did on the emotion, and probably even more. So here, if I put a line in the middle, you will see how much side-to-side movement you will get. And I did add more air in mine to minimize the rocking a bit. I just didn't like that feeling of too much rocking. This is, of course, totally personal, but it's something that you can definitely do, and it's nice to have that option. So as far as saddle comfort, I have been riding for so many years, and I've tried so many saddles. This is, of course, depends on your riding style, the saddle type that you pick, and the type of shorts or cycling bibs that you wear. With cycling shorts, I believe you get what you pay for, and also your riding style has a lot to do with your comfort level on the saddle. But did this rocker minimize the saddle discomfort that you feel? Well, it was really hard to tell, because just after a few hours of riding, you are going to feel uncomfortable regardless if you're riding outdoor or indoor. But I personally feel the less movement or rocking, the better, because it creates less friction. And just a couple of things about saddle comfort. I think it's key after every ride to just get out of your cycling bib and cycling shorts and just go take a shower and wear comfortable clothing and let that area heal if you have been riding a lot or you've been riding very frequently. The other area I wanted to test is does having the rocker affect the power reading that you get from the trainer? and I put the Wahoo kicker against my power meter, and everything read the same. I didn't see much difference between riding the kicker on a stable floor and riding it on the rocker. So that was one of the areas I was concerned about, but doesn't seem to have an effect. So my thoughts on the rocker plates, and should you get one? So the rocker plates are meant to make your indoor riding more realistic. Right now, the Kinetic Rocker Roll is the only trainer that does something similar. We know the Tacx Neo has some flexing to it, but is not as pronounced as the Rocker Roll or these rocker plates. Which brings up the question, why other companies didn't try to emulate that rocking motion? Did they not see a demand for it? Or with the high price of smart trainers, they were trying to keep the cost low? Or did they just completely miss the boat and didn't see the opportunity, which really doesn't surprise me. So it'll be interesting to see the development of the rocker plates and the rocker movement in general this indoor training season and the next few years. I think the rocker plates and rocker prods are meant to do one thing, and that rocks you side to side, and I think they did that very well. They are a little bit pricey, but the build quality is good and they are compatible with a wide range of trainers. It's really good to see more companies and more individuals coming up with creative ways and ideas to make indoor training more engaging and more fun. And I hope we see more of that in the next few years. So if you're handy and know your way around your tools and looking for a fun project, you can find a lot of sketches on the Zwift Rocker Plates Facebook group, and I'll have a link to it in the article on smartbiketrainers.com. But if you're like me, not the do-it-yourself type person, and looking for something that is ready-made, definitely check these rocker plates out. With that, hope you like this video. If you have any questions, please let me know. I would love to also hear from you your opinion on the rocker plates and the whole rocker movement, and where would you like to see it go in the next few years. If you like this video, you can help by hitting that like button and the subscribe button, and I will see you next time.